Welcome to Beacon of Speech. I'm Fred Hunt. Across the table from me is no one. Usually it's Ted Coley, but he is at work. And seeing that I am gainfully unemployed, I am doing my 5-minute sample version. Today, let me explain. This is the super abbreviated version of Beacon of Speech. What is Beacon of Speech? We sell freedom of speech to everyone. Well, mostly everyone. Today we're not selling freedom of speech to ISIS, and today we are not selling freedom of speech to John Kerry. His freedom of speech is suspended until he apologizes for saying yesterday, perhaps the media would do us all a service if they didn't cover terrorism quite as much. And then he paused, and he goes, then people wouldn't know what's going on. That's awesome. I was going to do a 5-minute sample about rock and roll, and then John Kerry messed up my whole spiel for the morning. All right, our topic today, rock is still dead. It's not coming back soon. One of my favorite topics in the world is taking Rolling Stone magazine, putting it on a punching bag, and then beating on it, because that magazine is so irrelevant when it comes to rock and roll. It's pathetic. Now, when I say rock and roll, you think Led Zeppelin, you think the Beatles, you think Pearl Jam. You can think of a number of bands. Yesterday, Rolling Stone came out with an infuriating list of the top 45 albums of the year for 2016. I was so angry, I actually broke it down and wrote it on a piece of paper. All right? And this is not according to Source magazine. This is not according to Country Digest. This is according to Rolling Stone magazine. All right? 7 rappers or R&B artists have the 7 of the top 45 albums, which just isn't true for Rolling Stone magazine. Again, if we're doing a rap publication, that would be different. 7 country albums are on that list. 1, 2. Now, there's also 8 classic rock acts, and when I say classic rock, we'll get back into that later, and 18 new rock and roll. So out of the 45, 18 are new rock or indie, and some of that indie crap, I wouldn't, if it was toilet paper, I wouldn't, we're not going to go on with that. So anyhow, let's return to these 8 acts at the beginning when I was talking. Rolling Stone magazine said 8 of the top albums of this year, 2016, were by, and I wrote them all down, Paul Simon, Elton John, David Bowie, who's deceased, God rest his soul, Iggy Pop, Peter Wolf of the Jay Giles Band, the Monkees, John Doe from the band X, and a Grateful Dead tribute album. Now, if I had any money whatsoever, I would buy Rolling Stone magazine and then I would shut it down for shame. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually listened to Black Star, and we're going to take the David Bowie release out of the mix because he was trying something jazzy, poppy, something that was going to usher him into the next life. So Black Star actually is a good album. All right? But Rolling Stone magazine, come on. Where is the rock and roll like bands like Rival Sons or Draft Tongue Orchestra? All right? Now, you can double back and you can say Death Grips is kind of punky rap, which is fine. You can put that in your top 45 list. But how old are these people? I'm in my 40s, okay? How old are these people writing for Rolling Stone magazine that they have the Monkees on one of the top albums of the year? Now, again, their top 45 releases, they had 1 pure punk band, White Lung, 1 metal band, the Deftones. They can't find any metal bands. You can't go out into the world and shake a stick without hitting 4 metal bands, all right? So come on, Rolling Stone, you need to get your heads out of your rear ends. And again, we're going to double back. What was one of the top albums of the year? They said that Beyonce her release Lemonade because she had a lot to say about the heartbreak of your spouse cheating. Video Music Awards on MTV. Their whole thing was Beyonce. She was one of the. How old is Beyonce? How long has she been around? Who's dictating the the parameters of youth culture in society today? It's all about corporate synergies and branding. My time is up. My name is Fred Hunt. This is Beacon of Speech. Today is August 30th.